core. So when you're ready, you can come up into standing. Just going to pop this to one side. Over here is good. So we think of the core, often people think of the core as just this little bit in their tummy. Lots of people focus on the front of the body rather than the back of the body. But for our practice, we're going to imagine our core is from the knees all the way to the top of the chest or the shoulders. So this feels like it's pretty much the whole body, but we'll be using all of those bits in our practice today. And so just to ease off some of that sitting tension, taking the feet nice and wide, a little softness in the knees, and free your feet as you gently twist from side to side. And here, perhaps you have a sense of the abdominal muscles having been engaged quite strongly in Kapalabhati. And so begin to draw those inwards and upwards. Imagine you're taking your navel towards your spine. And if you're in touch with your pelvic floor, you can engage that gently too. Not too much, just a little bit of extra awareness there. Once you've got that stability through your center, trying to keep the rest of the body soft. So the shoulders soft, the arms soft and fingers, relaxed in the face, relaxed in your jaw. Perhaps you have a sense as you're twisting of the muscles being engaged down the sides of the body. And just spend a few rotations focusing on the sides of the body as you keep that engagement in the center of the front of the body. And now taking your awareness to the back of the body. Feeling what's moving, what's engaging. Oh, we've got another attendee. So when you're ready, you can allow your movement to become a little smaller and a little smaller until you're back to standing steady. Aces. When you're standing steady, start rolling your shoulders. Okay. Good morning, Pauline or Pete. I don't know which one you are. Welcome. Okay. Rolling the shoulders in both directions. And then taking the fingertips onto the shoulders, feeling that sense of inward drawing and lift. Breathing in as you draw the elbows together and up. Breathing out as you take the shoulder blades back and down. Breathing in, forwards and up. Breathing out, back and down. Breathing in, forwards. Breathing out, back. Breathing in, forwards. Breathing out, back. We'll reverse that motion. Breathe in, open the chest, lift the elbows up behind you. Breathing out, bring the elbows towards each other and down. Breathing in, back and up. Breathing out, forward and down. Breathing in, back and up. Breathing out, forward and down. Breathing in. Breathing out. And just relax the arms at the end of this movement. So we're going to come and do our first sun salutation nice and slowly because we're easing through it, and we'll probably ease through a couple of these. If you need something under your knees for practice, it's a good idea to put it down on your mat now. So join me at the front of your mat with your feet directly underneath your hips, slightly wider if you prefer. And standing tall. Let's lift all of the toes off the floor and spread them out. Take the big toes down and the other toes as individually as possible to the floor. When you feel like you have your toes spreading and lengthening away from you, feel the inner part of the foot, the center of the foot. Feel the space underneath it and let that lift you really tall. The lift from there, coming up through the body. Really engaging in the tummy muscles and in the pelvic floor as well. Draw the shoulder blades slightly back and let the arms rest by the sides, perhaps with the palms facing forwards, or whatever suits that engagement through the back of the body. Center your head over your body, lifting through the back of the neck. Take a deep breath in here and a deep breath out. And then we'll begin our practice, breathing in, standing tall. Breathing out, bringing the hands to Namaste. Breathing in, reaching the arms up, opening the chest. Breathing out as you fold forward from the hips, taking the hands to the feet and folding the body over the knees. Breathing in, stepping the right foot back, knee to the mat as you open the chest, looking slightly forward, maybe slightly down. Holding your breath as you come into plank pose, looking ahead of your mat. Exhaling. Sorry, we were holding the breath there. Exhaling, knees, chest, chin. Awesome stuff. Pointing the toes, rolling the shoulder blades together, lifting the chest as you inhale to a low cobra. And then exhale, hands and knees if you need to, and then up into downward facing dog. And in your first dog of the day, just allow it to be nice and soft. Soft perhaps in the elbows a little bit, soft in the knees. And you can either lengthen through one leg and then the other, which is quite a nice thing to do. You can keep your knees much softer if you're wriggling through some stiffness in your low back, and just wiggle your hips a little bit. And here you can also let go of some of the tension in your neck by gently turning your head from side to side, or making any neck movements that feel good to you. Remember to breathe deeply here. And we're going to begin to prepare to come forward. So we want to scoop the belly in, keep the knees soft, and we're going to bounce slightly forward and back. So we're almost pushing off, bringing the shoulders forward towards the hands, forwards and back. And on your next breath in, step your right foot forward towards your hands. Drop your left knee down, looking forward. Exhaling, both feet to the front, hands to feet, and head to knees. To come up, lift the belly, look forward, reach the arms out, breathe in as you press through the legs to stand tall, and breathe out, hands back down to Namaste. Breathing in as you stand tall, breathing out, hands to Namaste. Breathing in, reaching up and opening the front of the body, breathing out as you fold forward, tummy muscles very strong into your forward bend. Breathe in as you step your left foot back, knee to the mat, opening the chest. Holding your breath as you come into plank pose. Look ahead of your mat, firm in the belly. Exhaling, knees, chest, chin, or forehead to the floor. Point the toes. Inhale, roll the shoulder blades towards each other, open the chest. Exhale, through hands and knees if you need to, up into your downward facing dog. And again in dog, probably for the first 4 or 6 downward dogs of the day, keeping that nice movement through the legs. We're not holding with stiffness. We're not holding with force. We're keeping everything moving and giving our bodies an opportunity to let go of some tension. So if that means wriggling through your back or your neck or in your shoulders, whatever works for you. We're going to still keep the tummy muscles working so that we have that support through the center of the body at the same time. And now preparing to come forward into our lunge. So bending the knees, pressing off the toes, bouncing back, pressing off, bouncing back, pressing off, bouncing back. And on your next inhalation, step your left foot forward to your hands. Open your chest as you look forward. Exhale, both feet to the front, hands to feet, and draping the body forward. Inhale, look forward, reach the arms out and up, press through the legs, keeping the belly firm, reaching up. Exhaling, namaste. Inhale, release the arms. Exhale, namaste. Inhale, reach up, open the front of the body, and exhale as you fold forward and down. Inhale as you step the right foot back, knee to the mat, opening the chest. Holding your breath as you come into plank pose, look ahead of the mat. Firm in the belly, exhale, knees, chest, and chin or forehead to the floor. Inhale, press the shoulder blades towards each other as you open the chest. Exhale, hips up, heels down, downward facing dog. And again, keeping your dog nice and mobile. Using this as an opportunity to ease tension out of the low back, the shoulders, the upper back. Still staying firm in the belly. We're going to bring ourselves to center, soften both knees and just bounce forwards and backwards. And on our next inhalation, step the right foot forward to the hands, dropping the back knee down, opening the chest. Exhale, both feet to the front, hands to feet, and head to knees. To come up, look forward, lift the belly, lift the arms, lift the chest, stand tall. And exhale, namaste. Inhaling in mountain pose, firm in the belly, exhaling, namaste. Inhale, reaching up, opening the chest, and exhaling, folding forward and down. Inhale, step the left foot back, knee to the mat, looking forward. Holding your breath as you come into plank pose, look ahead of the mat. Exhale, knees, chest, chin or forehead to the floor. Point the toes, hips are flat. Inhale, gentle cobra. Exhale, hips up, heels down, firm in the belly, and coming into your downward dog. Keeping it mobile if it feels good to be mobile. I quite like at this stage to bend both knees and wriggle my hips from side to side, which helps just to ease out any tension from the hips, the low back area. And I do this by sticking my tailbone, I was going to say bottom, tailbone high up in the air and keeping the belly muscles nice and firm. Then we're going to come to center and we're going to bounce forwards and backwards. And on your next inhalation, stepping the left foot forward to the hands, opening the chest as you look forward, exhaling both feet to the front, hands to feet, head to knees. To come up, look forward, lift the belly, lift the arms, lift the chest, standing tall and exhaling, namaste. Release the arms to the sides. Just take a moment here. Feel free to find a comfortable spot, comfortable way to stand and wriggle any bits that need wriggling. I sometimes like to release my wrists at this stage, so if you would like to, you can do that too. So we have done our first two sun salutations and we're going to add some things to them now. And I wanted to demonstrate this while you guys are stood tall, so you're not craning your necks to look, and also while you're wriggling out any bits that need wriggling. So our first modification to the standard sun salutation, just watching for now, is what we do in our forward bend. So we're going to do our forward bend as normal. So a little bend in the knees as we come forward, lifting the belly and keeping the arms out so the back is nice and flat here as we come into the forward bend, and then we fold over the legs. All of that as normal. We're going to first find our hands onto a place on the legs, and I recommend you start on the thighs and then look forward and lengthen the arms as much as you can, lengthen the legs as much as you can, and lengthen the back as much as you can. So you make more of a straight shape. Now I can't press my arms straight and keep my back straight here. That's because my hands are too high. So you can find a place on your legs that suits you better. So we'll start from the thighs and work down, and you might be able to reach the floor here. But the important thing is to keep the back in a nice long shape. And it's almost like work for the low back and the center of the back. So as you lift, you're working those muscles, and we fold, and we're going to do it 3 times. Hands onto wherever suits us on the legs. Lift and fold, lift and fold. So that's our first modification. Second modification is what we do when we come into our lunge, and we're going to come into the lunge and just work a little bit backwards and forwards in the lunge. So you can do this with your knee on the floor, if that suits you, and you can do this with your knee off the floor, if that suits you. And then when we come into our plank pose, we're simply going to hold the plank on this rotation. But when we come into downward dog, we're going to do side planks. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so join me again at the front of the mat. We'll take it slow, and we'll see how we go on this rotation. We're probably going to do something different in the cobra as well, but I'll tell you that when we get there. So standing tall in Tadasana, shoulders back and down, maybe palms slightly forward, head centered, tummy muscles engaged, pelvic floor engaged. Breathing in here, breathing out, hands to Namaste. Breathing in, reaching up and opening the chest, softness in the knees as you fold forward, lifting in the belly and draping the body over the legs. So first taking your hands to your thighs, and we're going to roll the shoulder blades together, look forward and lift the back of the body up. So that's where the engagement is. We're not really pressing into the hands here. We're just engaging the back of the body to stand tall. And if your arms are nice and long here, then that's great. And if you need more length in your arms, you can slide your hands a little bit further down your legs. And then we'll fold forward over the legs. We're going to do that one more time, maybe hands on shins if you can. Engaging the back of the body, rolling the shoulder blades together, lifting the back of the body up, maybe lengthening a little bit through the backs of the legs if you have room to maneuver there, lengthening through the arms, and folding forward and down. If you feel you're able to reach a little lower, maybe hands to the ankles. Roll the shoulder blades together, lift in the belly, lift the back of the body up, looking slightly forward, but keeping maneuverability in the neck, and then folding over the legs. Hands down to the floor, and on your next inhalation, step your right foot back and take your knee down if that suits your knees. So here in our lunge, we just want to make sure that that front knee is stabilized by the front foot, and then press into the front foot and take the hips backwards. We're going to press into the back foot and take the hips forwards, but don't let the knee travel over your toes. And pressing forwards and backwards. If you want to free your left toes from the floor as you come backwards, you can. And just explore what feels good here. We're keeping it quite dynamic. See if you can do this and engage your tummy muscles and your pelvic floor. We'll do one more time, backwards and forwards. And then we're going to lengthen through the back leg, hands to the floor, and come into plank pose. Allow your breath to be in its natural rhythm. So here in plank pose, often people are a little bit low in the hips or a little bit high in the hips. So see if you can hold your plank pose here and just wave your hips up and down a little. Want to avoid a point where you feel compression in the low back. Really engaging in the tummy muscles. You can do this on the elbows and the forearms if it's a little tough on the wrists. Seeing if you've got control enough to just gently undulate through the low part of the back. And then we're going to exhale, dropping the knees, chest, and forehead or chin to the floor. And here we're going to reach The arms out in front of us. I didn't demonstrate this, but you guys all know this. So forehead to the floor, hands on the floor, feet on the floor. We're going to lengthen the left arm and the right leg away as we inhale, firm in the belly muscles. Exhale as you lift the left arm, right leg, and possibly head up and lower. Opposite side, firm in the belly. Lengthen the right arm and left leg away. Exhale as you lift head, arm, and leg, and lower. Inhale as you lengthen, left hand, right leg. Exhale, lift and lower. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale, lift and lower. Inhale as you lengthen, belly firm. Exhale, lift and lower. Inhale as you lengthen, belly firm. Exhale, lift and lower. One more to each side. Inhaling. Exhaling. Lowering. Inhaling. Exhaling. Lowering. Wonderful. Hands underneath the shoulders, forehead to the floor. Prepare the belly muscles by drawing them inwards and upwards. Press through the hands and come into an extended child's pose. You can either tuck your toes under or have your toes flat. It doesn't matter which. Spread out your fingers. And from here, coming up into your downward facing dog. And in downward dog for a side plank, you want your feet a little bit closer together than they normally are, but you might need to paddle out some of your effort from the last few practices. That's okay too. So when you're ready, you can bring your feet together. We want the legs to be quite firm, scooping the belly in, and we're going to bring our shoulders forward over the hands. And when the shoulders are forward over the hands, you can roll onto the right foot, the outside of the right foot, stack the left foot on top of the right foot, press into the right hand and lift the left arm up. Now, if this doesn't work for you, you can have the feet side by side and rock onto the sides of both feet. Okay, but if you can stack the legs, that's all good. Woo, she says. And then here, if you want to, keeping the belly lifted and the hips high, lift your top leg. Take a deep breath in, draw the shoulder blades together, deep breath out, and we're just going to lower the top leg, lower the top hand, come back into our downward facing dog, and paddle out any tension, any effort from that practice. Stepping forward, we're going to bounce a couple of times, and on our next inhalation, step the right foot forward to the hands, drop the left knee down. We're going to keep the left hand on the floor and lift the right arm up. So a little twist to the right there. And once the arm is up, drawing the shoulder blades together, keeping the right thigh towards your torso and engaging your tummy muscles, just dropping your right hand back down behind you. Allow it to sweep forward, so we'll make circles with that shoulder, reaching the right hand forward and up and round and back and down. We did this last week as well. So reaching forward, opening, keeping that engagement through the center of the body. One more like this. Moving your head if it feels good to move your head. Coming back to the center, looking forward. Inhaling and then exhaling as you step both feet to the front. And here we're just going to hold our forward bend, maybe turning the backs of the hands towards the floor for a deep breath in and a long breath out. One more like that, deep breath in, long breath out. Firm the belly, look forward, breathe in as you lift the arms out, lift the chest, lift the whole body upright, and breathing out, hands to namaste. Breathe in as you release the arms. Breathe out, hands to namaste. Center the head, firm the belly. Breathe in, reaching up, opening the chest. Soften the knees. Breathe out as you fold forward, really firm in the abdominal muscles as you come into your forward bend. Take your hands back to your thighs. Roll the shoulder blades together. Press the back of the body upwards by using the muscles there. So there's hardly any weight here in the hands. You might want to press through the backs of the legs. If you've got room here, your elbows are bent, you can reach your arms long. Keep your head nice and free, the movement in the neck relaxed. And then gently fold. Do 2 more like that, maybe hands on shins if you're able to reach that low. Rolling the shoulder blades together, lifting the back of the body up, lifting in the belly muscles, keeping the elbows towards the body, and gently folding back down. Reaching the hands lower if you can. Breathing in, rolling the shoulder blades towards each other, lengthening arms, legs, and back. And exhaling as you fold over your legs. Inhale as you step your left foot back, knee to the mat, opening the chest, looking forward. And then just moving, allowing your breath to be whatever it would like to be, moving between the front leg and the back leg, or the front foot and the back foot. So making sure as you come forward, your knee is over your right foot, not ahead of the right toes. And if you want to, you can free the right toes from the floor. Do a little bit of dynamic stretching through the back of the right leg. Very good. We'll do just one more, mostly because I've lost count. And then from here, we're going to tuck the back toes, so we straighten the back leg and come into plank pose. So on our previous plank, we played around with the position of the hips. And if you want to, you can here find that position, that sort of neutral position. Press your heels away from you and try not to let the heels fall out to the side. So pressing them straight back, firm in the belly, and this time playing with your shoulders. So you can lift through the shoulders and drop the chest a little bit. All done by just pressing through the arms differently. Aces. And then we'll drop our knees, exhaling, chest and chin to the floor. Going to reach the arms out in front of us, drop the forehead to the floor and do the same variation of our back bend. So here, maybe this time focusing on pressing the pubic bone down, engaging the belly muscles. Going to inhale as we lengthen the right hand and the left leg, and then exhale as we lift, even the head perhaps, and lower. Inhale, lengthen left hand, right leg. Exhale, lift and lower. We call this swimming in yoga. Inhale, lengthen right hand, left leg. Exhale, lift and lower. Inhale, lengthen left hand, right leg. Exhale, lift and lower. Keep going side to side. Inhaling, exhaling, lift and lower. Inhaling, lengthen, belly firm. Exhale, lift and lower. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lift and lower. Last one. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lift and lower. Hands underneath the shoulders or the chest, forehead to the floor just to rest the neck a moment. Scoop the belly in, press up onto your hands and knees and back into an extended child's pose. Take 2 deep breaths. Maybe sigh out through your mouth if you need to. And then when you're ready, you can tuck the toes under and come up into your downward facing dog. Just spend a moment paddling out your dog and preparing for our side plank. So bringing the feet towards each other, if that's the variation that suits you. Feet apart is fine as well. And then taking the shoulders, scooping the belly in, bringing the shoulders over the hands. We're going to roll onto the outside edge of the left foot. Keep the hips high and lift the right arm up, drawing the shoulder blades together, firm in the belly. And if you want to, you can float your right leg up as well. Breathing as you hold, releasing if you need to, it's no problem at all. When you're ready, floating the right leg down, right hand to the floor, coming back into your downward dog and wiggling anything that needs to wiggle. Super duper. We're going to bounce on our knees 3 times, bouncing once, bouncing twice, and this time inhaling as we step the left foot forward, exhaling right knee to the mat. And keep the right hand down, inhale the left arm up towards the ceiling, exhale as we draw the thigh towards the torso, engaging the belly muscles. Then we're going to sweep the hand back and down behind us. Inhale as we sweep the hand forward, opening the chest, looking up perhaps. Exhaling, left hand back and down behind us. Inhaling, sweeping forward and up. Nice big circles. Exhaling back and down. Last one, inhaling up. Exhaling back and down. Inhale as you turn to the front and engage the belly. Exhale as you step the right foot to the front, folding over your legs for 2 deep breaths. Long deep breath in. Relax the back of your neck. Deep breath out. Long deep breath in. Long deep breath out. To come up, engage your belly, look forward. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the chest. Lengthen the whole body up, and exhale, hands to namaste. Release the arms and just take a moment. Take a moment to allow everything to settle, to wiggle anything that needs wiggling, and enjoy the feeling of strength or tingling or warmth in your body, whatever you've got. Okay, so on this variation, we're going to do similar things. So we'll do our sort of floating forward bend at the beginning, which is a lovely thing. And then when we come into the lunge on this side, we're going to do that forwards and backwards, but with the knee off the floor, if possible. So we're going to keep the knee buoyant at the back and come back and forwards, just keeping that, that sense of strength and engagement through the legs. This time when we come into plank, we're going to do a one-legged plank. So bringing the feet towards each other is quite useful here, and then float just 1 foot off the floor. It doesn't want to be high. If it's high, you start to arch the back. We want it to be quite low. If that doesn't suit you, you can just do a normal plank, no problem at all. And then from here, we're going to try and float to the floor with our one-legged plank. And you can either do that with 1 knee down and coming with the chest down, or you can try a half chaturanga. So firm in the belly, you just draw the elbows towards each other and lower down and just float the body to the floor. When we get down, we're going to do a normal cobra, but with cupcake hands, which should be very nice. And then we're going to come from here into an extended child's pose, just lengthen out any things that need lengthening out, and up into downward facing dog. And so in downward facing dog, we're going to come forwards and backwards from downward dog to plank, which is very nice for strengthening the abdominal muscles. And then when we've done that, there's a lot of things to do. We are going to step the right foot forwards, and we're going to keep the back knee off the mat. Turn into an extended side angle pose. So the back foot will point to the long side of the mat. The front arm will come onto the front leg, and we'll do extended side angle pose, which would be lovely. And at this point, if you want a little bit more work, you can lift the bottom arm as well. It's quite hard to hold and talk at the same time. I'm going to put this one down, and then we'll come back as we normally do through our forward bend, back to standing. So don't worry about remembering any of that. It's just to give you an idea of what's coming. Join me again at the front of the mat and let us begin our 4th round. So standing tall, shoulders back, lengthening through the crown of the head, engaging the belly. Let's take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Then we'll take a deep breath in to start. Breathing out as you bring the hands to namaste. Breathing in as you lengthen the arms up, opening the front of the body, engage the belly muscles, and breathing out as you fold forward and down. Taking your hands to wherever feels comfortable on your legs, roll the shoulder blades together, lift the back up using the back of the body. Exhale as you fold over your legs again. 2 more. Breathing in, waving the back of the body up. Breathing out as you fold back over the legs. Breathing in, waving the body up. Breathing out, folding over the legs. Breathing in as you step the right foot back. We're going to keep the knee off the mat, remember, but keep a little softness in that knee. Press off the front leg, bend into the back knee, maybe lift the front foot off the floor, toes rather off the floor, and then press back the opposite way. So firm in the belly, just moving between the 2 legs in a way that suits you. Maybe it's not exactly like this. Maybe it's a way that suits you better. We'll do 1 more. And then we're going to plant the hands firmly and come into plank pose. So here in plank, perhaps with the feet a little bit closer together than normal, and really giving a bit of lift through the body wherever feels good for you to stabilize. Firm in the belly and just float the right toes off the floor. You can point through the ball of your foot or through your heel, whatever feels good. And then coming down to the floor in a way that feels good to you. Could be with your knee down, or it could be in a chaturanga, floating to the floor, releasing your right foot down. Forehead to the floor. Cupcaking the hands, press your pubic bone down, engage the belly muscles. Breathe in as you roll the shoulder blades together. Peel the body up into cobra pose, but with the elbows nice and bent and the fingertips on the floor. Here you might want to just gently look from side to side. Sometimes that's quite nice. And then we'll peel ourselves back down to the floor. Very nice. Hands underneath the shoulders. Firm in the belly and come into extended child's pose. Long, deep breath in. Long, slow breath out. Long, deep breath in. Long, slow breath out. Scoop the belly in and come up into downward facing dog. And we're preparing for going from down dog to plank. So you don't want to step your feet in if you normally do that. Scoop the belly in. Inhale in down dog. Exhale as you move to plank, firm in your belly and your pelvic floor. Inhale in plank and exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale in down dog. Exhale to plank. Inhale in plank. Exhale to downward facing dog. Last one. Inhaling down dog. Exhale to plank. Inhale in plank. Exhale to downward facing dog. We'll get bouncy on our knees. 1, 2, and as you inhale, step the right foot forward to the hands. Now here, keeping the back foot off the floor, drop the right foot to the floor so it's parallel to the end of the mat or thereabouts. Keep your right knee stacked on top of your right ankle and take your right forearm to your right thigh. So we want to roll a little bit open to this long side of the mat. Once we've done that, we can reach the left arm up and over, really firm in the belly here. Drawing the shoulder blades together, keeping the head nice and free. Doesn't matter if you're pointing your palm forwards or downwards, do whatever feels good to you. And if you feel inclined, you can engage really strongly through the body and lift your bottom arm as well. Deep breath in, deep breath out. We're going to float the right arm down and then float the left hand down, pivot on the back toe. Inhale and exhale, step both feet to the front into your forward bend. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Sighing out through the mouth if you need to. Releasing in the neck if you need to. When you're ready, looking forward, lifting the belly, lifting the arms, breathing in as you stand tall. Breathing out, hands to namaste. We've only got one side left. Breathing in, release the hands down, stand in mountain pose. Breathing out, bring the hands to namaste. Breathing in, reach the arms up, opening the chest. And as you breathe out, fold forward into your forward bend, hands to feet, head towards the knees. Place your hands wherever is comfortable for your undulating lifts. Roll the shoulder blades towards each other, lift in the belly, and look forward, lengthening arms, legs, and back. And exhale as you fold back over the legs again. Inhaling, engaging between the shoulder blades, the back of the neck, the back of the body, the abdominal muscles. Breathing out as you fold forward. Last one. Breathing in, lengthening. Breathing out, folding. Hands on the floor. Breathe in as you step your left foot back, but keep your knee off the mat. Bring your right knee over your right ankle. Keep the back knee a little bit soft. And just with your breath falling in its natural rhythm, move between the front leg and the back leg. Taking the hips back, extending one leg and then the other. Neither leg has to get straight in its extension. You're just enjoying the play of moving the hips between these 2 points, moving the weight of the body, really firm in your center. We'll do just one more. I think we've done slightly more on this side, not to worry. And then we're going to place the hands firmly and come into plank pose. In your plank pose, spend a moment finding your spot with your feet nice and close together. Look ahead of your mat, don't drop the head forward. Lift the left leg up, pointing or going, extending through the heel, really firm in the belly. And then as you exhale, coming down to the mat in a way that feels strong and stable for you. This time, instead of cupcaking our hands, we're going to reach our arms down by the sides, turn the palms towards the floor if you can, or towards the body if that's too much of a challenge. Roll the shoulder blades towards each other, press the pubic bone down, engage the belly muscles, and as you inhale, lift your arms and your head up. Lengthen the fingertips down towards the feet. Exhaling as you hold. We're going to roll the shoulder blades even a little bit more close together. And if you can, lift your right leg up and down, firm in the belly, left leg up and down. If you want to release, you can, or you can do this one more time. Right leg up and down, and left leg up and down. Then we'll fold all the way forward towards the mat. Take the hands underneath the body. Come into extended child's pose for 2 deep breaths. Rest your head on something. Long deep breath in. Long slow breath out. Long deep breath in. Long slow breath out. Tuck the toes under, firm the belly, plant the hands and come up into your downward facing dog. And again, we're going to move between down dog and plank. If you want to give yourself an extra challenge, you can do this with one leg off the floor. So we'll do it 4 times. If you want to do it with one leg off the floor, you lift your right leg up to hip height. Inhale here. As you exhale, come forward into plank. Keep the belly firm. Inhale here and exhale back into downward facing dog, but the leg stays lifted. Inhale here. Exhale forward into plank. Inhale here. Exhale to downward dog. You can swap legs if you've had your leg lifted. Inhale here. Exhale forward into plank. Inhale here. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale and down dog. Exhale forward to plank. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. And drop your leg down if you've been doing this variation. Keep your knees nice and soft. We're going to bounce once, twice, and as you inhale, step the left foot forward to the hands. We're going to roll onto the inside edge, or the sole, sorry, of the right foot. Take the left elbow or left forearm to the left thigh, and then reach the right arm up and over. Really firm in the legs, using your abdominal muscles, draw your shoulder blades towards each other, making sure the neck is nice and free. And here, if you want to, you can firm the belly, Reach the left arm out as well. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Did we do this for 2 breaths? Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Let's float that left hand down. Reach the right hand forward and down to the floor. Pivot on the back toes. Inhale here. And then exhale as you step into your forward bend. Knees nice and deep and soft. Backs of the hands towards the floor if they reach easily. Really releasing in the head, the neck, the shoulders. Here you can let your abdominal muscles and effort soften a little if you want. If you prefer, you can keep that gentle engagement, maybe even a little bit between the shoulder blades. Takes weight out of the back of the neck. One more long deep breath in, sigh out through the mouth. And then we're going to roll up. So bend the knees really deeply. Let the arms and body drape. Press through the legs. Engage in the buttocks. Scoop the belly in. Rolling up to standing. Then we're going to turn the palms to face forward. We're going to breathe in, lift the hands up, open the chest, and finish by dropping the hands to Namaste. When you're ready, you can release the arms down. Take your feet a little bit further apart and just observe the effects of your practice. So there's no need to move or undulate just now. Observe the effects of your practice. Feel where the body is warm, where it's lengthened, where it's made great strength, where it feels maybe a little effort or a little stiffness or a little holding. Feel the tingling of energy as it moves through the body. Observe the rate of your heart, your breath. And when you're ready, you can take 3 really long, slow, deep breaths. On your last breath, sigh out through the mouth and see if you can release the effort in the face and the shoulders and the neck. Observe your breath as it falls back into its natural rhythm and away into silence. When you're ready, you can bring your hands to Namaste. Keep the chest lifted. Take your chin to a comfortable position in front of you. It doesn't need to come all the way to the chest. Maybe just till you find that length, that stretch down the back of the neck. Turning the corners of the mouth up or smiling to yourself. And in your own time, raising your head, releasing your hands, opening your eyes, and undulating anything that needs a little undulation. Aces. So I hope that that was all okay for you guys. We are going to, it's quite a lot of work through the center of the body, but the reason why we're doing it is because if we can stabilize and strengthen in the center of the body, it makes the rest of the body much easier to move. It's not that we're trying to make any particular shape, but we're trying to support our movements through life. So to round this out, we're going to do a little standing flow with the opportunity for a kick up to handstand if you want to do it. So you don't have to do that. I'll show you what I mean. So we're going to start in a similar position at the front of the mat. This you can do halfway down your mat, as I'm going to. And we'll first take Utkatasana. So this is a demonstration, okay? So first take Tadasana, then we'll bend the knees, lift up, come to Utkatasana, the chair pose. We might spend a moment here finding our neutral spine. And then finding a point of focus, we're going to lift the right leg and twist the left elbow towards the right leg. So we come into this sort of twisted dancer pose. And then the standing leg is a little bit bent still. From here, we're going to come into warrior three. I was going to say three-legged pigeon. Warrior three. So extending either through the heel or through the toes, trying to draw the shoulder blades towards each other, lifting in the back of the body, firm in the belly. And then we're going to place the back foot down and place the hands down. So if you don't want to do the handstand part, you can do warrior one. It's very similar in the action on the body. But if you want to do the handstand part, the hands come down and we're using the back leg firm in the hands to just hop up. So we're just leading with that back leg. The back foot never really touches the floor. And once we've done a few, we're going to walk the feet to the front, come back into bended knees, and come back into chair pose before finishing, as we normally do. Okay, and we do that on both sides. So if you don't want to do the handstand kicking up, you don't have to. The idea is not to kick all the way up into handstand, but to gain a little bit of lift. It's also quite good for the tummy muscles, or the core muscles, as the case may be. So come, join me on your mat, wherever feels good for you. We have the feet underneath the hips. We're going to roll the shoulder blades towards each other, center the head, engage through the belly muscles, lifting tall in Tadasana. Inhale here. And exhaling. Bending the knees. Inhale, lift the arms up over the head. Exhale, bring the shoulder blades down. And here, spend a few deep breaths, rolling the pelvis backwards and forwards. Firm in the belly, firm in the feet, trying to find what is a neutral spine for you. When you've found your neutral spine, take your weight more onto your left foot, lift the right knees, take the elbows out to the side, and then draw the left elbow towards the right knee. Standing spinal twist. Oh, sorry, standing twisted dancer. And then from here, coming back to center, firm in your belly, firm in your standing leg, reach your arms away from you, pivot at your hip, lengthen your right leg out behind you. You don't want the right leg to be too high, either extending through the heel or through the toes. Draw the shoulder blades towards each other. Keep a little bit of movement in the neck. And when you're ready, you can place the right foot down. So if you're doing not handstands, you roll the shoulder blades towards each other, lengthen into the back leg, bend in the front knee, warrior one, and hold for a few deep breaths. If you're handstanding, hands come down to the floor. And you're going to pivot the back toe, and then keep the back toe sort of lifted and light, pressing, using that leg to lift the front leg off the floor. So we're kicking up with the back leg and back down. Up and down. Maybe one more. Up and down. Walking your feet to the front if you're in warrior one, stepping your back foot to the front. And we're all going to fold into a forward bend. Little softness in the back of the neck. If you've been handstanding, turning the backs of the hands towards the floor. Nice bend in the knees. We're going to keep the knees nice and bent. Maybe bend them a little deeper. Engage the space between the shoulder blades. As you breathe in, reach the arms forward and up. Press through the legs, standing tall, opening the chest. And breathing out, hands to Namaste. Reach the arms down to the side. Take a moment in the center, feel the difference between the two sides of the body. We'll do the same thing to the other side. So we're standing tall in Tadasana first, engaging through the center of the body, lifting in the pelvic floor, shoulder blades engaged, back of the head centered over the body. Exhaling here. Bending the knees, keeping the feet flat, breathing in, reaching the arms out and up in front. And breathing out, just wriggling in your tailbone, in your low back, to find your neutral spot. And you might find that it's not where you end up when you come into the posture, and maybe it is. It's all good. It's just an exploration. When you found your neutral spot, take your weight more onto your right leg. Take the elbows wide, lift the left knee, and just bring the right elbow towards the left knee. Twisted dancer. Excellent. And then from here, firm in the belly muscles, coming back to center, lengthening the arms in front of you and the left leg out behind you. This is my less balancy side, as you can see. Lengthening the arms, drawing the shoulder blades towards each other, through the heel or through the toe, it doesn't matter at the back. Firm in the belly muscles. Couple of deep breaths. When you're ready, you can drop the left foot down behind you. If you're doing warrior one, press into the front leg, open the chest, draw the shoulder blades towards each other, lengthen into the back leg, really engage the back leg and hold for a few breaths. If you're handstanding, hands down to the floor, pivot on the back toes. And we're just going to use that back leg, lifting it to lift the front leg off the mat. So we're kicking up and down, up and down, up and down. We'll do one more, or maybe one more actually. Lovely job. If you're in warrior one, step forward. If you're handstanding, step forward. We'll come into a forward bend. Nice and soft in the knees. Turning the backs of the hands towards the floor and just making sure you're free in the neck. If you need to have a bit of a wiggle here, you can. Then we'll bend the knees deeply. Engage the tummy muscles, reach the arms forward, drop the bottom, press up through the legs to stand tall, opening the chest, and finishing with the hands in Namaste. Allow the arms to come down to the side. And take a few breaths here, just experiencing that sensation of what's been engaged, where your energy is, maybe what feels the need for a release, what feels the need for an ode to joy, which is often what happens after a handstand. Take a deep breath in and sigh out through the mouth. Bring the hands to Namaste, lifting the chest, chin towards the chest, only as much as you need to get a stretch. A little smile, perhaps you're feeling particularly joyful after that handstand. And then when you're ready, raising your head, releasing your hands, opening your eyes. Awesome sauce, guys. So if you tried it, well done. If you didn't try it, it's okay. There will be another time. But here ends the standing up part of the class. And for this next bit, you may need a bolster if you've got one, or a block. Okay, and so we'll put the block or bolster, whatever support you've got, to one side. We'll go from this into relaxation. So bear that in mind. You might want to have anything that you need for relaxation close by, or you may want to put on some warm clothing, have your blanket ready, that sort of thing. If you want to use something more substantial than a block, then a few cushions could be quite nice as a bolster substitute. If you want to home make a bolster, the best way to do it, not maybe for right now, is to take a firm pillow, wrap it in a blanket, and then wrap it in a belt. So you create that sort of tube shape. If you don't have your own bolster and you live close by, let me know, because I've got loads. Okay, smashing stuff. So in a way that feels comfortable to you, coming to lie down on your back. And if you want to, you can lengthen the legs away from you and just see how that feels. Maybe lengthen the arms away. And you'll be aware as you come into this position, if there's any tension in the body that you need to let go of. So after our practice today, I don't feel any tension in my low back at all. It's been troubling me for a few days, but if you do, then you can place your feet on the floor, and that will just give the low back a little bit more support. And we want our belly muscles to be nice and relaxed now. Okay? If you find it's not your low back, but the space between your shoulder blades or the back of your neck that gives you trouble, you can cross the arms over the chest, just allowing the fingers to drape to the sides of the body. And take a few deep breaths here. Maybe finding that your eyes naturally close. If you prefer, you can just gaze at one point. If you've got your arms crossed over the body, you might find it nice to alternate the cross, to do the opposite side as well. If you haven't needed to cross your arms, just relaxing the arms away from the body with the palms turned in a position that suits your shoulders. We're all going to release our arms down now and gently roll the head from one side to the other, a couple of times in each direction. And when you come back to center, using either a bolster or your block, you're going to lift your hips up and place support underneath your sacrum. So underneath the backs of the hips, just below the spine or the soft bits at the back of the hips, and perhaps a little bit underneath your bottom as well at the same time. That's okay. So support your body in a way that feels good to you. It might be that you want your support a little bit lower down. What we want to avoid is these soft bits in just above the hip bones. We don't want any hard or firm support, particularly blocks there is not good. Bolsters there is not too bad. And we're just allowing the arms to be wherever feels good. So if you want your arms more out at shoulder height, you can. If you want them over the head, if that feels good to you, go for it. If you want them down by the side, this is all good. So wherever suits you best. Let the weight of your hips and your pelvis feel the support of whatever's giving you a little lift, whether it be a big book, a block, or a bolster. And here, maybe just do a little gentle twist or sway of the head from side to side, not really turning the head, just making sure the back of the neck feels free. If you feel so inclined, you can close your eyes and take a few deep breaths here. Feel the openness, the space underneath the ribs, in the front of the body, across the pelvis, across the abdomen. It might be that this is your happy place. You feel that this is just perfect for you. If you want to do just a little bit more, then you can draw your right knee in towards you and just hug it maybe with your right hand. You don't have to hug it at all if you don't want to. And extend your left leg away from you. And you might find that your left foot easily comes towards the floor. If you're up on a higher support, that might be a bit too far. You can float your foot off the floor. That's no problem at all. As long as it feels nice and open for this left side of the pelvis. Maybe you feel a sense of lengthening, maybe into even the top of your quadricep muscles. Whatever gives you a sense of openness and of length. And you can draw your right knee deeper in to give you more space on the left side, if that feels good. Just taking a few deep breaths here. Maybe try to relax as much as you are able, softening the face, the chest. If you have a niggle or an uncomfortable feeling in your low back, you might try swaying your left foot from side to side. Just a really small, gentle movement. And if that doesn't feel good, just placing your foot back on the floor. To swap sides, we can bend the left knee into the chest as well, and then lengthen the right leg away. Again, exploring that sensation of openness, of length across the right side of the pelvis. Maybe drawing the left knee in a little bit deeper if you feel that that's good for you. You can drop the right foot to the floor if that makes more sense. Breathe first. And if you find that there's still an uncomfortable sensation in the low back, you might like to sway your right leg from side to side. Just a gentle, small movement. Maybe you don't fancy doing that, that's okay. If your low back is still uncomfortable, you can place your foot down. Take a few deep breaths. And for anyone who would like to try, you can take both legs long. So releasing the left leg, taking both legs long, finding a place for the heels on the floor, and releasing the arms out to the side if that feels comfortable. Now for me today, this is not so comfortable. So I'm going to go back to bending the knees and placing the feet on the floor, just slightly adjusting the support if you need to. And if you want to get that sense of length, but without extending both, lengthen the legs a little. So creep your feet forward until you get that sense of length and openness at the front of the pelvis. And again, we're going to take another few deep breaths here. Softening the features of the face, the shoulders, the fingers. Allowing the abdominal muscles to be relaxed, the pelvic floor to be as relaxed as you're able. Then after your next exhalation, if your legs have been extended, bending them so you can provide a little bit of extra support, firming the belly muscles just enough and pressing into the heels, lifting the buttocks, engaging the buttocks, just enough to move your support, and then lowering yourself back down to the floor, nice and gentle and easy, until your hips come down. And at this point, we're going to move into relaxation after just a gentle spinal twist. So observing how the back feels, releasing the arms a comfortable distance away from the body, and then firm in the belly, a gentle sway of the knees from side to side. So we're not doing much here. We're not doing a full twist. We're just swaying the knees a little hither and thither, hither and yon. Very good. When you're ready, you can bring your legs back to the center. And then if you want to use your bolster, if you've got one, underneath the backs of the knees, or you can use a rolled up blanket under the backs of the knees, or a cushion or a pillow. You don't have to have anything under the backs of the knees if you don't want it. Keeping the body nice and quiet and settling for relaxation. So the feet are reasonably wide apart from each other. The arms released away from the body to a point that feels comfortable. Some people like it wider, some people more narrow. Try turning your palms upwards or turning palms to face the body, and see if you can relax the shoulders and the space between the shoulder blades. If you need to, you can bend your arms at the elbows and place the hands onto the abdomen. But if you can, keeping the arms long. Closing the eyes, maybe gently rolling your head from one side to the other. Feeling an easing of tension in the back of the body, back of the neck if you've still got some there from your practice. Bringing your head back to center. And if you don't have anything under the backs of your legs, and even if you do, you can engage your tummy muscles in your buttocks and press your low back down into the mat. Feel as if you're trying to squash something underneath the low back. Pressing it down, holding it firmly towards the floor. Taking a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just relaxing that effort, letting the hips and the low back release back to their natural position. Taking a deep breath in, sighing out through your mouth. Repeat 3 more times, a long deep breath in. Let all of your effort go. Long deep breath in. Let your muscles begin to relax. Last deep breath in and surrender down into your mat. Allow your breath to find its natural, spontaneous rhythm and fall away into silence. Take your awareness into your forehead. Feel it soften and spread. Feel the area around your eyes relaxing. Your mouth, tongue, and jaw releasing. Allow the whole of the back of the body to feel heavy, warm, supported, releasing down. Move your awareness to the front of your body. Become aware of the space over you and around you. Feel the touch of air on your face, the movement of your clothes on your skin as you breathe. Feel the sensation of holding space in the palms of the hands. Move your awareness to your breathing and gently deepen your breath, inhaling for the count of 3 and exhaling for the count of 3. Inhaling for 3 and exhaling for 3. Inhaling light energy, harmony. Exhaling tension, fatigue, negativity. Inhaling light, energy, harmony. Exhaling tension, fatigue, negativity. Allow your breath to fall in this rhythm for the remainder of your relaxation. The body softening and relaxing a little deeper with every exhalation. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Bring your awareness back into your hands and your feet by moving your fingers and toes. Maybe roll your wrists at the hands at the wrists and the feet at the ankles a couple of times in each direction. And when you feel ready, you can take a deep breath in and stretch the arms. If you're using a support underneath your legs, maybe lift your hips a little off the floor. Stretching. Ooh, maybe even stretching the face by yawning. And releasing. In your own time, you can bend your knees in. If you've got a bolster or support, you can rest your feet and sway your knees from side to side. Or draw your knees all the way into your chest and hug them towards you. Make any movements that feel good with your spine, with your back. You can turn the head from side to side and gently ease the knees in and out or make circles. Whatever feels good. And then when you're ready, rolling onto one side, just curling up for a moment. Easing yourself out of relaxation. When you're ready, you can come up into any comfortable seated position. And bring the palms together, rubbing the hands vigorously, getting lots of heat into the palms, a little bit of movement into the arms. Pressing firmly, rubbing hard. And when they begin to feel warm, placing the hands over the eyes. Feel that warmth soften, that contact release the area around the eyes. Blinking into your palms a few times before you release your hands down as you open your eyes. Namaste, everybody. Thanks for bearing with the technical difficulties and joining this practice.